We back, and it's Checks Notes Tuesday, and it's time for the R-Type. The R-Type. That's what this game is called, right? The R-Type DX. Music Encore. Encore. All right, how come you're not showing up, R-Type? There you go. How was everyone's weekend? Good, I hope. Mine was very warm, but otherwise pretty good. It's cooling down here. Chibi UFO, hello. It's time for R-Type, but of the portable variety. Yeah, mine was pretty good. I got to go back to Michigan for a bit, which I hadn't been in since around Christmas time. Oh, let's see, I can play Ultimate Challenge with the same music arrangement as the arcade version. Note, in-game rankings are not saved. I think I gotta do the one with the new music, right? And then it's just R-Type DX. Believe it or not, I have not played a Game Boy R-Type in my life. So this will actually be my first time playing it not on a Game Boy, but there you go. Went to the library today and borrowed some capital V video, capital G games. I like it. I have some friends who are library borrowers. I am not simply because I don't know, actually. I guess I just don't play a lot of stuff on a console anymore that's not old. But it is a bummer that libraries will, I guess, be something resembling up a creek in 2028 when apparently Sony just stops making disc-based video games. So that's fun. I think that news happened since the last time I streamed. I think. Which is a big bummer. What do we got here? We got a big old high score thing. Yeah, we got that, and we got the PS3 and Vita stores going away, which honestly is not that shocking. Like they tried to do those things in once, and they got yelled at, and we all knew it was only a matter of time before they actually did it, right? Not that that's good, but honestly, I don't know when the last time you tried to use the digital storefront on the PS3, but it is slow as shit to the point where it has basically not been really usable for years. Not that it's good that it's being shut down, but it's fucking terrible. This is a hell of a way to be looking at R-Type. I gotta say, as a person who is very familiar with the arcade version of the original R-Type, this is a trip that I'm having right now. To have it look like this and in this fidelity. I kind of figure that'll add to the fun, though, a little bit. Like, someone who's pretty familiar with the arcade version being, like, a little, like, mildly freaked out to be playing this on a Game Boy. This certainly is a take on the R-Type soundtrack as well. Boy, let me tell you. We want our one speed up. And I suppose that button, yeah, that's what I thought. Gotta know which one my force is and which one is shoot. Okay, this is weird. Why is it like this? Okay. That is not at all what that looked like in the arcade game. But I suppose I can't just be comparing this to the arcade. Okay. Boy, oh boy, this is going to take some getting used to. I don't know if you've had this experience of playing the portable version of a game that you know very well and just being like, why are you the way you are? But that is definite. Okay, that's probably on me, to be honest. And to be fair, I haven't played R-Type 1 in a little while either. Even the regular version of it, so... Got some collision things to be getting used to here, I suppose. How is one supposed to... Yeah, seriously, right? Get fucking good. You ever played R-Type before, scrub? That's what you should all be saying to me right now. I promise you I have. I streamed it here once upon a time. I did not end up getting a 1cc on it, but I sure put up a better performance than this. I guess I'll just ignore those gun turrets for now, because they're quite a bit more difficult to deal with. All right, here he comes. Dope Keratops. I assume our classic trick will work here. And they didn't take that trick away from me. Is it working? Who's even to say? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. There we go. Maybe it just wasn't... Oh, it like gets itself out. That's weird. That is so weird. And so his front part doesn't really do anything at all. This is absolutely bizarre. So I guess I'm going in for the little hits. At least he isn't moving in on me. Can I, like, move in to get it to... Yeah, the pod physics are all off? It's crazy. This is a crazy version of R-Type. And I am not looking forward to what the harder levels have in store for me if this is what I get. Because, I mean, there's not really another way I can get in there. I just wish the pod would, like, stay put for 2 goddamn seconds. Lordy! That is not a good sign. They are pretty difficult. But I do know the arcade version pretty well, I like to think. And, I knew this was going to have some differences. Like this stage boss, for example, I know I'm really going to be in for it because the quick kill trick does not work on him, from what I understand. The quick kill trick meaning when you, well, I'll talk about it when we get there, but meaning when you kind of sandwich yourself in his crevasse. And get the weak point. Boy, okay. We're gonna end up going back to stage 1 on here pretty quick. That's all right. I'm gonna be forcing myself to get good here. To learn this Game Boy version of R-Type on its own terms, I suppose. Maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. I actually don't want to continue. I would like to not continue, please. Like, okay. Return to title. Give me back to the first stage. I would like to try this. So I guess it makes you go, through R-Type 1 before you go through R-Type 2, because if I remember correctly, DX was a collection. A compilation is the word I'm looking for, actually. A compilation of both R-Type 1 and R-Type 2, the portable versions of R-Type 1 and R-Type 2. What are my options? Anything? Right! At least it's not me! Thank you! I thought I was not imagining that. Okay, that's just options. Do I have different options within the games? I do. Okay. I wonder... Visualizer, normal. I just kind of want to see what's going on here. Guide display? Yeah, maybe get those things off. Maybe also normal. So maybe what we'll do is we'll switch our layout to 4x3 here real quick. We have a 4x3 layout. So I think I would prefer this to be in 4x3. Okay, there we go. Guide display off, ghosting. This is probably the rest of this is okay. Button settings, convenience settings, power up on start. We're not a bunch of babies. We're not gonna power up on start. Can't have that. All right. Yeah, okay. Let's go with this. All right. One more time with feeling. Yeah, I mean, I guess there have been things in the world that have shocked me more than the Game Boy R-Type game perhaps not having good hitboxes. God help me if I get to R-Type 2, which I don't know if I will, because boy, am I out of practice on R-Type 2. Boy, oh boy, am I out of practice on R-Type 2. Back in, I did one CC at once, and only once in my life, despite having practiced and practiced and practiced. Something in that game always gets me, even on the arcade version. R-Type 2 is just, it's brutal. It's really and truly brutal. It is one of those Darius 2 era games that just wants you dead. Okay, I do not understand what I guess they want. This whole thing is so different with these things. I guess they just want you to go down the one in the middle for this one. I am going to ignore these guns because I don't have a, Look at, like, I can't... I'm making contact with that, and it's not making contact. All right. We're not doing this. I will not settle for this. I at least have to put up a decent... I at least cannot lose all my power-ups on the first level here. And I think there's quick saves as well, so maybe I need to take more advantage of those between stages. But I at least have to get through the first stage without losing power-ups, for God's sake. For the love of God. So I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm not too sure about these arrangements. Like, they're not bad, per se. Like, the contact with the power-ups is absurd. Like, how far do you have to go into them to pick them up? Insanity, I tell you. One more time. I clearly need to try and get these... not hit these power-ups when they're right against, you know, the top or bottom of the screen, because... But you... Okay, that one went okay. Good, okay. Brr, 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 brr. Blip, blip, blip. Come on. Come one, come all. Okay, and so here's this. Did they take out the red weapon, I wonder, in this? I feel like I was hitting something earlier, but I'm not exactly sure what it was that I was hitting. Oh. Okay. I mean, maybe the weapon that I had here makes it, okay, and so, okay, here's my force pod, which should theoretically allow me to, like, look at this, look at this! How am I supposed to get this? How am I supposed to get it? I will collide with the ground! Hello, Starlight Midori Land. We are playing a extremely janky version of R-Type. That I'm not, Itai. Hashikani. Itai. Alright, well, again, this dope Keratops took us forever and a day last time because our stupid force pod does not want to stay. So we're kind of chipping away at him little by little here, because that's the only choice we have. This guy would be dead by now if this was arcade R-Type, I'll tell you that right now. So we're just kind of shooting him in here and getting onesie-twosies off. I'm doing that internally that it's taking me this long to defeat dope Keratops, trust me. I really am doing it. Is this very, like, farty version of the R-Type song, boss theme happens here. Okay. Come on. Get him a little bit. Hit him the next one. Lordy, okay, I should probably actually do a quick save there because that is the best I'm ever going to play that stage, I think. Alright, so if we do a quick save there, at least they give you save states to learn the game, that's good. I appreciate that. Alright, we won't abuse them too badly, at least not on these levels, like I will just keep them... you know, I don't want to get more than one speed up. I'm not a two speed up and R-Type guy. I'm really not. I'm a 2 speed up and Gradius guy. But I am not a 2 speed up and R-Type guy. I don't know about everyone else, but 1 is my limit. I feel like there's not a situation in R-Type in which I need more than a single speed up. At least not in R-Type 1. R-Type 2, you can argue. Because it throws some pretty weirdo stuff at you. And I don't think I have gotten the missiles yet, either? Unless that's the power-up that I missed. Missiles, missed, get it? No? Okay. I didn't want to have to make that joke, but I did miss them. It's true. And I mean, this is kind of a testament as to what a difference, like, okay, what weird nonsense did they do to this guy in this version of the game, I wonder. And all they're giving me is just the one power-up, over and over and over again, so I'm starting to think that maybe, the other one just doesn't exist. Okay, so I do not think I can actually even, here get myself sandwiched in the middle. So I probably have to wait and angle myself until this bad boy comes up here. Whenever it will do that. It seems to be doing it all at the times when this guy is on screen, which is not exactly ideal, is it? Like, is that even hitting it? I hope it is. Or I wonder if I can, like... Or maybe... Maybe I can do this and it's better. Come on up. Like, is it even hitting? I'm guessing the answer is no. Trying to strategize here and think, what else can I do? What else can I try? Like that. Okay. Maybe I should, let me reload my quick save, and let me maybe make one right at, I'll go through that again, and I'll maybe make one right before the boss. And we can do it that way. I will say that they made this a lot easier to clear with this weapon in this version. I'll give them that. Oops. I still feel like there's something wrong with those hitboxes. I really, really do. I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. Because I feel like I just don't quite have the leeway I normally would. But whatever. We make do with it. We make do with it. Also, I'm not used to having, oh, we got a 3. Okay, what's 3? Oh, this thing? I don't want this thing. This thing sucks. I am not a... I mean, there's an argument that it's okay here because it's like going up and down across the top and bottom of the screen to get those guys that are coming out. But I don't like it. Like, it makes me feel like I'm severely underpowered up front. Like, right up front where I need it, you know? But I think we'll get the other weapon before we get to the other guy. The guy's pretty well, I do have to say. As long as we don't have to use this... Well, though, I don't know. Do we want to use this for the boss? Because maybe... No, I'm going to try this again. Because I feel like the angle that's on this is kind of what we need here. I just don't think... I wish I knew if it just wasn't giving me good feedback when I was hitting it. Or what, you know? What it is. Alright, I had to try that, but I didn't think it would actually work. Now I'm actually kind of wanting to choose the other weapon. To see if that actually does any better there, because theoretically it could run right along the bottom. And depending on how it treats that surface, it might actually be better at hitting than this. But again, it's like, I don't know whether it's not hitting or whether the game just isn't giving me proper feedback. Because on Dobkeratops, I think it was letting me know that I was getting the hits. And in the case that I'm not hitting it at all, then what the hell am I supposed to do? How else can I hit it? And now am I just not getting? Did the guy just not come with the power-up the second time? What is going on? What is going on? And I don't have a force on the bottom yet, so I can't take the force on the bottom and drag it across the protrusion. All right, here, we're gonna drop another save, quick save here. Just because I wanna play around with this guy a bit here. Oh, you know what I might need to do? Something just occurred to me. I think I know what I need to do. How could I forget what game I'm actually playing? Oh no. That's not... I just need to get the angle right. Y'all see what I'm trying to do, right? I'm just not doing it quite right. Oh, Lord. Oh, yep, this is exactly what I want. Yes, this. Now, if this isn't hitting, then what the hell? Because I am literally right where the eye appears. But then again, it took me a lot of hits to kill Dopeceratops, so... I'm just very perturbed that if this is hitting, I'm not getting any visual feedback for it. So I'm still not actually sure that it's hitting. Okay? All right. Dumb, but okay. All right, let's drop a quick save here, too. All right, and I'm embarrassed that it took me that long to realize it. Oh, yes, this is R-Type. You can use the Force, as they say. All right, battleship time. Let's see how they... Okay, number 3. Number 3. Yeah, number 3 is okay for this. Was there a number 2? Now I'm like, did I imagine it? Was there ever actually even a number 2? These weapons are so much weaker than in the arcade version. At least sometimes, in parts. Like, did they just take the best weapon in the game, like that red weapon, like, away completely? Because, like, look at how weak the pea shooter is by comparison. Like, I won't be able to kill this fast enough. I guess I'm supposed to do this, maybe? Will this travel all the way? Oh, does this... I don't even think this does this in the arcade version, travels like this. Okay, can I even... Will that clear? Okay. Are you... What? What do you mean? What do you mean, gun? What do you mean? Come on, take out that gun, please. Please? Please? Please take out the gun? What the shit? Okay. You're supposed to let up. That's how this is supposed to work. Coming. I'm not even sure if this is strictly necessary in this version, but I'm playing it safe. Huh. Okay. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Alright. God, that is... It's so abrasive, though! Some of these songs are so abrasive. Alright, so turns out that... Number 3 weapon in this game is surprisingly good at things. Can you even break this in this version? I don't know, because it's... Again, it just seems like it's taken forever. What is am I crazy, or are my thoughts about the music crazy? Is it a little too abrasive to anyone else? Or just me? So yeah, this version, this came out on Steam and some other platforms a couple months ago, and it has rearranged music to sound more like the arcade version, is the story that they tell. Anyway. It is really high-pitched, right? So what I'm thinking, actually... Come back. Or actually, no, hold on. Don't come back. Can I launch you and make you go down? No, I can't. It totally does need a low-pass filter. You're not wrong. I'm trying to get... Hold on. I really want to try this. I really want to try and get this on my front, if I can. There we go. Oh! Okay, that was just... That's what was interesting. So, I don't know if you guys caught what was happening there, but, like, basically, am I, never mind. Maybe I just had a momentary, like, blip on my side. I'm getting a little bit of choppy movement on my end. I'm not sure if that's happening for you all or not. Like, me moving my head back and forth is a little choppy here. At least it was for a moment. It seems like maybe it passed. Anyway. But what was happening was that the pod was keeping it so that I was not making contact with the ship. So that's not how that's supposed to work, but okay. It's just very they've made some very, very strange decisions here, I feel. Very strange indeed. Okay. Right. One more time. Yeah, I'll try and point out here exactly what I'm talking about, but... Once we get back up to the thing, and maybe I'll make another save, by that battleship. Or by the thing on the battleship, rather. You know, the eyeball. I guess I could be using more charge shots to take some of these out quicker as well. Sort of in addition to what I'm doing here. So, and this is also totally not a thing in the arcade version. If I were see how little room it's leaving me to get around the battleship here. Basically, I have to have this behind me, and it makes the battleship not do contact damage to me. But if I put it on my front, it's not going to work. So just very strange. So I really have to stick and move here if I'm gonna be able to do this the way I think I need to do it. I really need to kind of get in and out, or else I'm gonna take a death like I did on this guy the first time. And I feel like they've just made these bosses take so many more hits than they did originally. So many more. Which is not a good thing, honestly. Like, again, this guy would be dead by now if this was the arcade game. And then it just gets found. Okay, so how are you supposed to do this then? Do you actually have to get the force down there? Or do I have to switch it around somehow up top? Let's see here. I can figure. Oh, I didn't make another save point. That's okay. I'll try and remember to do it this time. All right. Come on, guns. Wait, did I get... I looked away for a second. And death is all there is. Death. In this version of R-Type, yes. It seems so. Also, it's very hard to describe the feeling of slowdown that's happening on this. Again, compared to the original arcade version. I'm sorry. This version of this song just sounds hilarious. It's like an old... Someone's like slightly out of tune version of this that is playing on like a Sound Blaster 16 from like 1996 or something. All right, hold on. Let me do a quick save here. Do it right there. Yeah, it's definitely missing a low pass. That is for sure. All high, no low.
Jessica.
And all Jessica. All right, so we know we need this here to even get ourselves past, right? Otherwise we won't. Okay, but now the question is there a way I can send this back and loop? Hello? You're just not gonna, you're not gonna come? Okay. What I really would love to do is somehow get that to go down, but I just can't seem to do it quickly enough. What I would love to figure out is there a way... It won't go past this, so I can't use that. I would love to try and get this in front of me. Okay. Will this work? Will this work? It seems so. So we're gonna do this. Nice. And it's all because of Jessica. All right. I'm really curious to see what they start doing with these levels, to be honest. I think this is where it's going to get real nuts. All right. Cuz these levels... Oh, wait. They skipped a level. They completely cut a level. Wait. Yes. Because this, to me, looks like the beginning of level... Wait, 2 levels! Because the one that comes after the battleship is the ones where the things are... I know this is not very descriptive, but the ones where the things are making the lines, where they're coming around and they're going boo, 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 and they're coming down from the top and everything. And then the one after that is the fire... not fire, but how to describe it. The big old blobby boss that's full of RNG. And then this is the one after with the big, like, container things. So they, yeah, okay, that was on me. But this is, wow. Unless they rearrange them. And also, I'm not confident that my old patterns will work on this one, but we're just gonna have to see. Nope, because you can't... I don't think with the hitboxes you can butt yourself up where you would need to butt yourself up to. So I think I'm just kind of stuck reacting here, if I'm being honest. Okay, I guess I had to go back there. Because normally what you would do... Let me just try what I would normally do to make sure that doesn't work. But I don't see how it could in this version of the game with how they have it playing. Normally you can kind of hug this. Just barely hug it. And no, look, that clearly won't work, right? Because it's taking up the entire thing. So yeah, it's not particularly even worth trying because it absolutely won't work. Okay, so you have to move out, and then you have to move back in, I think. So it's whole new patterns to memorize? Oh, holy Lord. Okay. All right, okay. It is going to be scaled down, though. That's the good part, right? Because this is a Game Boy. They've cut 2 entire levels, so okay. They've clearly proven that they're scaling things down here, so all right. Try and memorize this. I am an old person who has memorized all of the arcade version of R-Type, and now you are asking me to memorize a new R-Type. And I don't like it. I don't wanna. Okay, you can't do it there. You gotta do it there. I mean, kind of staying in a neutral position and reacting seems to be the best way to go. And so, like, here, I think I do this, and then okay, well, the jackass back there shot me, but I think I had the right idea there in general. All right. Brr, 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 brr. So, as usual, try and get as many of those things as you can, because they trouble if you leave them. And then we do this. Oh, look at the fucking hitbox! Look at the hitbox! You have barely any room to maneuver through that. They made the stage even worse. Somehow. Somehow they made it worse. You wouldn't have thought it possible. And yet they did. All right, I'm gonna play a little dirtier than I wanted to. I'm gonna make myself an save state in the middle here. You really have just centimeters there. How many times am I gonna have to go up? Like, I cannot stress. Maybe it's just because I know already what this is like in the arcade version of R-Type. And it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. They're not taking something that was easy and making it, like, extremely hard. All right, there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a better way to do this than being sandwiched in just that little tiny... You move that stick even slightly, and you are done. And now I'm not moving fast enough. God, maybe there is a reason for another speed up in this. Though, God, I feel like I'd be even more twitchy there. This is... You can't do that. Actually, I have an idea. Hold on. Wait for you to go down. That doesn't even give you time to do that. I was originally thinking then you go back up. But I think you really do just have to be, like, right in there. Oh my God, how? Can I do that? I can't do that. Because I hit him. There are little spaces in the arcade version you can squeeze by these guys in if you're, like, just above them. Again, not easy, but better than this. Okay, hold on. I know there's a guy coming right up on me, but I'm saving that. We'll do it in the one after, just in case I kind of screwed myself here. Yep. And then you got the guys up on top, which it seems like you can just kind of leave them up here. In this one, they're not quite as big a threats. Oh, yeah, they're still threats, though. All right, so 1, which is what I already have. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. I assume I can go in here and dodge you out. Yes, I can. All right, what is the... All right, how are you supposed to get around it in this when you don't? All right, hold on. I got to study this one. Again, I know how to do this in the arcade version. I'm not really sure what they're asking of me here. Boo, 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 boo. But once we get past this, maybe we'll do one here. And then really here is where we want it. So that first one, you just have to have like good up-down movement. But here I'm not, or after this one rather, I'm not 100% sure what they want yet. So actually, sorry, here is really where I want it. They kind of do look like the robot from Lost in Space, don't they? All right, this should be about right. All right, so then here, the question is, what do you want? Okay, so, all right, hold on. That one I went a little early, that's fine. No, wait, that's not what I wanted. Right, here. So I think what we want is we want to go down to get around him. No, we don't want that, actually. Back, maybe? Move back, I think. Okay. So this, and then this. No, because you just keep moving back. Is it back and down? Because you take up that whole... I know, but this is worse, Chibi UFO. This is worse than the arcade version of R-Type, I'm telling you. This is worse. They somehow found a way to make it worse. I can do this on the arcade version of R-Type without that much of a problem. Oops, that was me. That was on me. All right. Wait, okay. One second. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, I hit the power up there. I was like, what is hitting me? What am I hitting and I'm dying to? But I'm being killed by my own power up. Which is its own sort of brand of humiliation, I guess. I guess back up. Hold on. I am so not used to having to move this way. All right. So back, up. Okay, yes. And then here, there. Yep, okay. Kind something like that, yes. Okay, so now if we let's see. We'll save it for the boss. Save it for the boss. We still got the boss to go and see what terrible, horrible ways they changed this boss. Oh, you asshole. Alright. Now that I know that's going to happen, I'm willing to bet I cannot fight this boss the same way. Oh, I absolutely can't. I'm gonna have to... Okay. You're gonna have to do it the way that you have to do it when you miss the charge, because what you do in the arcade version of R-Type is you charge and you wait for the thing to come down, hit it with the charge shot. Wait for it to come down, hit it with the charge shot. I do not think that's going to work here, or I'll never know if it's going to work here because again, you get like really bad feedback about... All right, so I got to figure out... I was not fast enough? I did not start moving early enough? Is that what it was? Maybe I do need 2 speed-ups in this game. Dear God. But what? Like, what? All right. Well, I can't really go back and get another speed up now. There wasn't one. That just... Guys, I think this might be a bad version of R-Type. I don't know if you're catching on to this or not. Okay. Move earlier, I guess. Okay, you move into there. All right. Oh, Lord. They just keep finding ways to torture me in a game that I already know. Okay. I'm just gonna, like, put the force as close as I can to him. Oh, there's another speed up down there. Okay, I actually kind of want to go for that. Because here I can actually find it. Well, I hope I can beat it. Again, if this were the arcade version, I'd be, Okay, yeah, no, that's what I thought. Okay, alright, so maybe don't force the speed up. That seems like a bad idea, just in a different way. And I moved back too much. I have to get a better read on when... Okay, alright. Oh no. Okay, that actually kind of worked out. Hold on, I'm gonna play dirty again here. I'll go to the earlier one. Because with the speed up, it might actually be a little bit easier to react. And I think that's... Okay, that was dumb. That was on me. Alright. Nope. This one. Gotta learn to recognize that pattern of when he's coming up. Okay. Nope. Okay. Good. All right. Good. Okay. Yeah, that's you. There is again, just a way easier way to do that in the arcade version. Okay, so yeah, they definitely skipped 2 levels because now this is the second to last level. So they cut, I'm guessing they won't cut the last level, but they cut 2 levels from this. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're gonna play with save states because the game's letting me. I really don't think I want a third speed up, so I'm gonna... Alright, this part is quite tricky in the arcade version. But it doesn't seem like... They actually kind of tone this part down, which is great. But yeah, we wanna kind of put the force pod on the back for some of this, because there are some dudes coming at us from the back. And this thing we want to be... Okay, what hit me there? Or did I collide with the thing? Again, it's a little bit harder to tell hitboxes in this version. But we're gonna do our best here. Let's see. I feel like the angles just don't really work the same way either. But again, no point in complaining. Make it work. Alright, we're gonna try. There's the 2 weapon. I really feel like I moved straight up out of that. They give you the hitbox is so big, and they give you just so little wiggle room along the edges there that it's just kind of nuts. I know what'll make R-Type better. We make the hitbox bigger. Make it bigger, says people. All right, I feel like I need a save state right here. All right. I see what you were doing there. I almost feel like coming out of this... Yeah, it wasn't even hitting them. The bounce wasn't happening right. Okay. Do I actually want to go up on this one? No, because I won't. Maybe I do want to do it this way here. Oh my gosh, the red weapon is in this game. I feel like it's just very, very few and far between. And I have no bottom force? As far as I can tell? All right, hold on. I need to make one here, because I really can't wait to see what they did with this boss. All right. Because this boss, I actually usually use an exploit to beat, but they probably give you a slightly easier version of him. Oh, only now? Only now do I get my bottom pod? I bet I just gotta kind of juke around stuff here. Yeah, there's an exploit that you use, to get around falling stuff in the original arcade version. But they really kind of take it easy on you here, to be honest. So unless they do some nutty stuff, this hopefully shouldn't be too bad. Yep, you are just not beatable? You pop up and you're not beatable? That's fun. I guess I just gotta dodge your shit. That's fine. I think I can do that. Point blank as much as we can there. Oh boy. Okay. Come on. Die. There we go. TurboGrafx are on the Game Boy version of the Game Boy is 1 megabyte in the Turbo. Yeah, that's a... Yeah, I wonder if they felt like the concept for those stages they just couldn't handle on the Game Boy hardware, whereas they could on, like, the PC Engine TurboGrafx. I haven't heard anything about why... as you can see, I had no idea that those levels were missing. They really caught me by surprise. I'm also willing to bet that the exploit, or not exploit, but the trick for this level is not going to work. That I can just sit in the back and fire. But let's find out. Let's try it. We made a save state. Okay, already I can tell you doesn't work. You can, in the arcade version, you can just sit in the back. And as long as you're in the back, as long as you stay butted up against the screen, nothing's going to hit you. You're going to be fine. And I just wanted to test and see if that worked, but I'm going to have to just move around more. That's okay. Again, they probably toned this down. So it's probably going to be okay. I'm going to try this with the red weapon here. Yeah, before you could stay in back and you'd only have to move for one of these guys, one of these things. You know what? I'm going to grab the other... Oh, that is a dramatic speed up from 2. Holy cow. They're like going off of exponentials here or something. Okay, this blue thing just never leaves the screen here in this version, it seems. But I kind of think this weapon 2 will be sort of terrible for the actual last boss. All right. Just in case they throw some nonsense at me here. So the idea is that we need to open this. Okay, all right. By just shooting at it repeatedly, and eventually we will open it. And then we send in our force pod there to do its job. And it's still in there, so hopefully we can just dodge. And we're actually getting at least audio feedback that our hits are working. There we go. The last stage was my smoothest stage! Alright. I assume it's going to take me into R-Type 2, which is going to be a waking nightmare. Okay, so... you have successfully defeated half of the Bido Empire. Half! We still got a whole second game here, people. What are you talking about? For the next section of the challenge, your beam weapon has been upgraded to its full potential. Okay, so is it going to start me in R-Type 2 with an upgrade? Oh, boy, this is so interesting. Okay. I almost want to say, like, my original R-Type 2 notes are probably going to be just worthless. Like, they changed so much of R-Type 1 that Oh yeah, they upgrade. Okay, so you roll. This is fascinating. So they chain these games together, one after another, and they give you upgrades immediately coming into R-Type 2. maybe that is why it's 1 megabyte. All right. Wow. This is some fascinating design decisions that they've made here. All right. And yep, this is the R-Type 2 song, all right. There were different weapons in R-Type 2, though, so I wonder if they will express that. What? Okay, they just changed the icon, so now it's... I do not need another speed up, thank you very much. And also, I wonder if they'll just keep the balls hard difficulty spike of R-Type 2 here in general. Not really sure what all these power-ups I'm getting are, if I'm being honest, because these were not the power-ups as they were represented in the arcade version of R-Type 2. Like, it's really difficult for me to tell what these are. Okay, so this is the one that goes up across the top and bottom, which I almost would have preferred not to have gotten, but it is what it is. So then what is this? This must have to do with my missiles. Because there are 2 different kinds of missiles in R-Type 2. Homing ones and ones that kind of run along the ground. There we go, okay. I would actually prefer to have the red weapon back, if I'm being honest, but at this point I don't think I have a choice in the matter. Oh, that's not supposed to be. That's not a thing. All right. Okay. That's a new one. That is a new one. All right, so I am going to keep this red weapon. So I like it. Unless they fundamentally change the balance here in this version of R-Type 2. It, once again, is generally speaking the one you'll want for most of the game. And these are missiles, so I think I can get these... Oh no, that was not. That was... Okay. Hi, Nappy. We somehow, through much trial and tribulation, managed to beat this, Okay, that's fine, because I kind of wanted to reset that anyway. I'm labbing some R-Type DX, which is... I did not know this, but it's a combination of R-Type 1 and 2 for the Game Boy, and it goes from one directly into the other. You can't just choose, I want R-Type 1, I want R-Type 2, at least not yet. You have to go through all of R-Type 1, and then it sends you into R-Type 2 powered up, which is fascinating. Because I have never played these versions of this game before. All right, so the back arrow is the a power-up I don't particularly want. So we're going to skip on that. Definitely do not need another speed up. I'll tell you that right now. These guys don't shoot missiles at you like before. Oh, that's a little missile, so it's the missile. Okay. I see what's going on there. All right, I'm gonna make myself a little save state here. We're doing a little bit dirtier with the save states here, but I don't quite know everything that R-Type or R-Type DX is throwing at me here, so. And I am attempting to learn from my mistakes here at the very least. Wait, no, hold on. When did I get that? When did that happen? Hold on. No. Keep hitting the wrong button there. Nope, come back. Speaking of wrong buttons, yeah, Michigan was good. Thanks for asking. It was nice to be away for a little bit from everything. And see the family again, since I hadn't seen them since Christmas, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I've been back since then. Didn't do a whole lot, but it was wait, I swear. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, what I'm looking at is the missile effects. Okay. I thought I got the other weapon, but I did not. I'm just getting missiles that are kind of going down to the ground, which is fine. Okay, that was dumb. Dumb. All right. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has any experience with the regular version of R-Type 2, but it is brutal. It's a very, very unforgiving game. Yeah, I didn't see any kind of fireworks to speak of. Just some kind of local ones that were kind of going on in the neighborhood. You know, the city ones or whatnot. I'm not a huge fireworks guy anyway. Like, I don't hate them, but I don't love them. If that makes sense. So I'm pretty okay just to see more localized fireworks that aren't some big, you know, dog and pony show or whatever. Did anybody else do anything interesting for the potentially long weekend? Yeah, I was inside a lot as well. I have a brother, and he's not super into video games, but he likes some of the, you know, the classic multiplayer ones, your Mario Karts. We play Windjammers a lot. He's gotten better at Windjammers too. And we watch some films. He's a big horror movie guy, as am I. I enjoy horror movies. And this is not that wall building up behind you. Unless I always just beat this boss way too quickly, I am not used to that happening either. Interesting, it treats the R-Type 2 stages as just continuous stages. It says stage 7. This is stage 1 of R-Type 2. Okay, and yes, this is the proper second stage from R-Type 2 as well. It's very interesting. I had no idea that they did it this way. No idea at all. I'll do all the R-Type 2. You know what? I'll start going back to the top here. But I'll be interested to see what R-Type 2 stages they skip. You had to be in very specific places for this in the original R-Type 2, and it just seems much more forgiving here. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm glad. I'm very glad, actually. Because you had to know, okay, I gotta move to this side of the screen here, I gotta move back here. It was not always so fun. Lots of memorization. Please do not make me get that speed up game. Oh, please, oh, please. Maybe it's just me, But I feel like the R-Type 2 versions of this music are better. They're like less abrasive. But again, maybe it's just me. Let me save my progress here. And yeah, these things turn into like these balloons that explode if you don't take care of them in a timely fashion. These guys were in the original R-Type 2. And you can go down into the water, by the way. I wasn't particularly doing it, but you can. You slow down, but you can. Okay. What was next? So I remember the boss of this level. Oh, yeah, poop. Okay. Right. What to do about that part? I guess I gotta get down there and take out those guys on the ground a lot earlier than I was. That's sort of the trick there, I suppose. Yeah, but that bit's not going to do me any good, is it? Because I already had the maximum number of bits. Okay, let's just do it there, so we're a little bit closer, and I guess I gotta get down here. And that's what I was afraid of, though. What's a better... Because he's kind of right up against the edge, so the missiles that go across the ground I don't think are really gonna do much to him. Maybe hang back. Lab this a little bit here, because before I was kind of playing it cool, playing it safe, you know? But then the problem is I get all these guys at the bottom here. Can I just like... No, yeah, I can't skip you. You just like blow me out of the water. Huh? Okay, now again, that big hitbox strikes and I hit his claw. And God, I feel like these... The way the weapons work in this are just so... I'm gonna have to de-rust on actual arcade R-Type 2 and, like, make the argument that, like, you know what, this is... In some ways, the original R-Type 2 is easier, which is just a crazy thing to say. Okay, I think if I get under him, you just destroy him so quickly in the arcade R-Type 2 that I've never really thought about, okay, this is how I have to deal with him. Even the approach over that edge, man, oh man, okay. Yeah, he's gonna hit me from behind. I gotta get like all 3 of those guys to come down the waterfall first. Boy. Okay, I think I can go under here and just sort of ignore him, to be honest. Apparently I was forced into getting that weapon. Ah, good. Okay, I gotta get my force pod back to me before that. So you can just ignore that dude. And actually that weapon is probably better for killing him from underneath. So I may actually want to consider switching there. This level is going to be my undoing. Okay. Let's see here. It's actually, if I'm being honest, just makes me want to play arcade R-Type more than anything else. Nope. We want to go under. I don't like this. Please fire faster. Okay, I am gonna be a big old cheater here, and I am not gonna live through that again. Or I don't want to live through that again, rather. And I think if this is anything like the arcade game, I get something coming from behind as well. And it's so much harder to move up vertically in this game because you just get these tiny hitboxes. You go just a little off. And you, like, there are parts in R-Type 2, even in the original, where that's true, but it is not many of them. All right, we are putting that one away. All right. What was the second boss here? It has been a minute. Yep, you gotta hit his not at all, his dingus here. All right, let's see here. This is definitely the most phallic an R-Type boss has ever been. Okay, I gotta move in more than that, I think. Or stay outside of the range, anyway. I haven't practiced Arcade R-Type 2 in so long that some of even the fundamental stuff, I'm like, what is that? How did that work again? Okay, I don't think it even gives you enough screen real estate to get you to, so I guess I just gotta go above it. Above it is. I don't think it goes up high enough to hit me, but we're gonna find out. All right. Starts down there. And I didn't move in enough. I didn't do the thing I said I was gonna do. Gradius, it's a little more, what would, like, bio-organic than Gradius, I feel like, though some of those got pretty bio-organic. I don't know. It's debatable about whether, I feel like the R-type games or Gradius are really and truly harder. I think there's some debate to be had there. Okay, well. It's Irem versus Konami. So, I mean, only similar insofar as they were active around the same time period and, like, shooting games were popular around that time period. So I think it's more like a case of, like, lateral thinking than it is like, oh, one was... I'm sure Irem looked at Konami, because Gradius came before R-Type by a year? And I'm sure they're like, oh, we need to do one of those. But, I mean, it feels very different. Like, the ship is very different. The power-up system is very different. So, I do think it's, yeah, that's kind of where the similarities begin and end, in my opinion. The checkpoints are very unforgiving. They're similar in that way, too, I suppose. All right, I can't believe that they did as much as they did with the ship. Yeah, I'll take this weapon here, actually. This is probably not a bad shout. With the way they're presenting the battleship here. They're kind of doing similar things, I would say. But it's obviously much more scaled back. There's just shit flying all over the place, and in the original game, let me tell you. Not really sure what those little... Ooh. I should probably cheap out here. What was C again? Oh, C was this one. Oh yeah, this will be probably pretty handy here. And what do they want me to do? The thing where I do the... Oh, hello? I guess I moved in there a little early. Please? Please? Okay, never mind. You don't have to really do the same thing as you did before. No, I don't want more speed ups. How many times do I need to tell you? And this is just going to keep going up, isn't it? I guess my safe spot was right, maybe in the middle there. But again, with these hitboxes, I don't even know if that will work. I'm actually going to try keeping this. Seeing if that maybe does better for me. Oh, this. Okay, you gave me this. Ah, Lord. Okay, they do quite an erratic pattern there. I keep hitting the... I think with this, we really kind of want to be down here. Yeah. I have no shame. No shame! Alright. I guess I would have had to have taken those guys out first for that to work. Which this weapon just does not really want to let me do in any sort of with any sort of speed at all. I guess really I'm supposed to be going down here, huh? And like kind of doing this maybe. Yep. Okay. +1, I assume that's a 1-up. Be careful of... Oh, hello. I see you. Yeah, I actually feel like I might do well with these here when it get a little more coverage. They also kind of don't come out quickly enough, I feel like, the weapons in general. Okay, this is not... Yeah, alright, I was not supposed to do that there. A lot of trial and error in R-Type, as you can see. Like, you just gotta learn how things are working. You gotta learn the patterns. Or else you're kind of SOL. And half of it is I've forgotten the patterns in the original one. The other half is... they may have changed them in this anyway, so... I think I'm supposed to stay above here. At least that's kind of what it seems like. Lordy. Okay. Alright, this boss! What was this boss? Oh, yeah. You just kind of gotta shoot the things, really. Can I kind of play it the same way I did in the original, I wonder? Okay, no, it's just gonna move in on you. Alright. You could just take that guy out really, really quickly. Originally. Actually, hold on, I want to see something here. I thought... Power up on start. I thought there was... Oh. Okay, alright. You know what? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And quick load. Let's look at some rapid fire on this. I have it built into my controller anyway. I am not a person who thinks rapid fire is cheating in arcade games and the like. Maybe you do, but I don't. Because I don't like mashing buttons. Because eventually it starts hurting my hand. Okay, I guess we gotta go underneath him there. Because even with rapid fire... and point blanking... it is not quite enough. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay. And now we need to... get around him here, I suppose. There? No? Okay. Red Spectra. Hello. We're suffering, really, if I'm being honest. A game that I kind of know, We're on R-Type 2 now as a part of this R-Type DX pack, and I'm just trying to figure out some of the different things that they've done to make my life terrible. Like making all these bosses like 10%. Oh, who am I kidding? That's generous. 10% is way too generous. 50% more difficult to kill. And changing their patterns completely from what I know them to be. So I think you gotta go down there after he starts moving up. No, but you can't move down that early. You have to let him go first, and then you have to move down after he does that first. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I should have said something about that at the top of the show. New scrolling down the belt was up Monday for those folks who keep an eye on the YouTube channel. It is there. I don't know if those games are going to be very interesting to a lot of people, but they are a part of history. So we are obliged to cover them. For good or for bad. Okay, I was not fast enough there. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I noticed you commented, Chibi UFO, and I believe you called Legionnaire a mixed bag, which is about the kindest thing probably you could say about Legionnaire, realistically speaking. I actually don't think Legionnaire is terrible. I probably should have streamed those games today since the episode just came out. Maybe I'll do that next Tuesday. I wasn't even thinking about it for whatever reason, though. I definitely would not have suffered through either of those as much as I am here. Chris hits so fast. Like, her punch is so fast. But she's got those little itty-bitty gaps. They're so tiny, but you can get knocked out of your combos still. Unfortunately with her. I am going to go insane. Yeah, I actually, I'm kind of looking forward to see what the third Great Battle game does, because it's still a beat 'em up. They don't leave the beat 'em ups until after part 3. So I'm interested to see like what improvements they make on it. Like, in a way, I almost feel like the Great Battle is like, while simultaneously being very by the numbers, it's also like, in a way, like one of the most innovative games that we've seen covered in a while, I feel like, just because the character switching is neat. And I like that it's broke as shit to be... I just keep going too early. I like that it's broke as shit and you can just slide around. 5 is a wild guns like? Oh my goodness. Okay. That's exciting. I feel like at some point we can take the Thursday streams where we do licensed games and make it about the Konpachi heroes and the Great Battle games. Like, I don't think that's too much of a stretch for the intention there, you know? I did this once before. I did it. You all saw it. Well, some of you saw it. And now, apparently, I've completely forgotten the timing of it. Oh, no, never mind. I think I know what I did. They are licensed games, exactly. They meet that criteria. They do meet that criteria. Did I go around here? I don't know if what hit me there was the... Which one that was. Yeah, and I kind of want to play the dodgeball. I know the Konpachi Heroes have a couple of dodgeball games, even though they're not called the Great Battle. Yeah, sorry, I actually didn't, I didn't think of that in time, Starlight Midori Land. Though, I'm looking at it and I'm like, is it too late from one of those? Because I am about at a wall with R-Type here, if I'm being completely honest with myself. So, how about we do this? I've got a Famitsu to look at here real quick. So why don't we do that? And then with what time we have left, maybe we'll see how far we can make it with those two. We may have to pick one for tonight. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna queue it. Don't you worry. Just a second. Let me get out of this first. 'Cause I have about had enough of R-Type. This version of R-Type anyway for now. And speaking of the sound, Famitsu check. Yeah. All right. Let me change our layout for Famitsu check. We got a PDF. PDFs, you want them? We got them. We got them right here. And so I wanted to start at the beginning of the Famitsu cross review here. By the way, for if anyone is new here to the stream, this is a thing we do where when we can, because we can't always do it, we take a look. If we play a retro game, we want to take a look at how it was evaluated in contemporarily in the time. And so as long as we don't go past 1996, we have a pretty safe bet right now with the due to the folks at Gaming Alexandria that we can find the Famitsu that the game was reviewed in and take a look at it. So obviously, R-Type DX, what was it? This version of R-Type DX was not covered. Well, maybe it was covered in Famitsu. I actually didn't look, but I found the original Game Boy R-Type. R-Type DX on the Game Boy Color, which this is porting, was $19.99, and there are a couple of Famitsu issues online from 1999, but it was not that. So I found the closest thing I could get, which was R-Type on the Game Boy, R-Type 1. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at here. So not completely what we played, but, you know, it's in the ballpark. Let's zoom in on... I hit the wrong button again. Good God. Okay. Zoom in, maximum big. All right. But before we do that, sometimes we just like to take a look at everything that Famitsu reviewed. We don't necessarily read all their comments, but we at least look at the games and we look at the numbers, right? And then we get a little bit more in depth when we get into the game we're talking about and translate some of the comments. So, Super Volleyball for the Mega Drive by our friends at Video System. This is apparently an arcade port. I have not played. This game actually does look vaguely familiar now that I look at it. But it is an arcade port, and it looks like it got a. Well, actually, let's zoom out a tiny little bit just so I can scroll through these numbers a little bit more easily. 7, 6, 8, and 5. Taco X being our dissenter, of course, as good old Taco X is wont to do, right? Yeah, so that's I don't know. That someone gave it an 8 is kind of amazing. So I think not too bad of scores for Super Volleyball here, but maybe this will trigger some memories for people potentially, even though this isn't this exact game. The Pro Yaku 91. So the pro baseball, the Pro Yaku 91 on the Game Gear. I'm assuming this belongs to the same family of games that oh God, the name of it just left my mind. World Series Baseball? World Series Baseball, right? That was the Game Gear one, right? Yes. World Series Baseball. I don't know if this is the case for any of you, but I got a Game Gear, and I got the blue Game Gear, very attractive looking blue Game Gear, if I do say so myself, that came with a copy of World Series Baseball. So though I don't believe this is the actual game that was localized as World Series Baseball, I played at least something in that family of products. And so this one, 5564, it's about, probably about what you'd expect for a baseball game, right? And Morishita Mariko is just our anti-Taco X here. If we look at this, like, she is just scoring everything considerably higher than everyone else. Taco X having given this a 4, Morishita Mariko having given this a 6. So there you go. But that's not it. We actually have quite a few more. On the Mega Drive, what is this? Wrestle Ball by Namco. Resuru. I don't know if anyone's familiar with this one at all, but I do not know this one at all. 7, 6, 8, and 7. Pretty good, I would say. This is apparently it's a hybrid soccer and rugby game, according to the description here. Powerball, not to be confused with winning the Powerball, the thing what gives someone millions of dollars here in America. But we have a perennial classic here next, despite the scores. We have Battle Golfer Yui. And for any Game Center CX fans in the crowd, you may remember that episode with Battle Golfer Yui. It's stuck in my memory. I think that Battle Golfer Yui episode actually made it over to the old localized Retro Game Master DVDs for anyone who has those. I think I still have my copies sitting around here somewhere, in addition to all the real Game Center CX stuff I have. But yeah, Battle Golfer Yui was on that. And this did not score well. I thought it was very charming, but this got a 3, a 5, a 6, and a 3. Like, whoa, they did not like it. This is pretty low for Famitsu. I really don't feel like I've seen many 3s. But here we have it. Here are 2 3s scored for a single game. So did not like Battle Golfer Yui at all. We have Niji no Shiruku Rodo, so like Rainbow Silk Road. I don't know if this was localized as anything, because I have no experience with this in of itself, but it looks like this is probably a Famicom game because it doesn't have a platform specified. To be fair, maybe it's just been a while since I played Battle Golfer Yui, so maybe this is fair. But yeah, probably it's known more for being a Ksoge than it is anything else. So maybe that's about the right score. I'd have to revisit it. But Niji no Silk Road got 6, 6, 7, and 5. Not too bad for what looks to be maybe like a Famicom RPG from what year are we on here? 1991. We do have a Mahjong game here, which I won't try and decipher the full title of. But boy, Mahjong games on the Famicom from Capcom are still getting 7s. They're still getting 7s in 1991. Apparently has an RPG-like mode as well, where you can battle, Mahjong battle different characters. Now, I ask you, is it right? I love his delivery on that line. It's so good. So good. Goosebumps. Thank you for picking that, Jimmy UFO. I wasn't sure anyone was going to pick that one. He did get really good at Battle Golf for Yui, but I was about to ask, is it fair that one reviewer, who was this reviewer? We're gonna name names. Tofuya Famibo, it was Tofuya Famibo, gave a Mahjong game on the Famicom a 6 and gave Double Dragon 3 on the Famicom a 4. Now look, I understand what the popular opinion of any version of Double Dragon 3 is. I get it. It's not a well-loved game. I understand. I am here to tell you that while I do not think either version of Double Dragon 3 is amazing, I think that both of them, to varying degrees, are unfairly maligned. I present this hypothesis to you, and I know most of you will probably disagree with me, and I'm prepared for that. But if nothing else, even if you don't agree with me, I ask you, is it fair that a Famicom Mahjong game gets a 6 and Double Dragon 3 gets a 4? It's all I'm trying to point out here. And I mean, this person's argument at a glance is this genre is already very worn out on the Famicom, which they're not wrong about that. And things like this, and the just trying to see at a glance what else I can glean from this. Yeah, mostly just kind of that it's played out, to be honest. The whole formula is played out. The joystickless in the arcade version, yes, it's very fun, and it's like your best movement option too. One of these days, I'm gonna stream Double Dragon 3. I need to de-rust a little bit, but I have a weird amount of love for. I guess I'd say I prefer the arcade version, but I do think people beat up a little too hard on Double Dragon 3 on the Famicom. I do think that. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? We have, it's a disc writer only game. That's interesting. So it's not even, you can't even go out and buy a new disc of this, of Oru 1, all one, which I guess is, what type of game even is this? A dice game? It seems to be a dice game. It's writer only. So you have to have a blank disc or one that you're willing to overwrite and pay a whopping 500 yen to get this written onto your disc. Double Dragon 3 8-bit, it is hard. It is hard. I won't deny that for a second. I won't deny that it's hard. But I do think it does some interesting things. Yes, all Dines. Oru Dines. On the PC Engine. On a PC Engine Hue card. This was an STG, of course. Or sorry, this was an STG, right? I'm not imagining that. SG Sengyo game, huh? They keep saying SG, not STG, but now I'm trying to remember, like, am I remembering the genre of this game correctly? No, they would call it shooting. SG, no. It's super graphics, SGO, super graphics yo, for use with the super graphics. Thank you. Took me a minute to get there, but yes. SG Taiyo no shooting game. So it's scales up. It's you play a slightly better version of it if you pop it into your super graphics, which of course you owned. Of course you owned a super graphics. What's wrong with you? But it got pretty decent scores. 7.6, 7.5. It's been a minute since I played this one, so I don't remember too much about it. But we do have some love. We do have some love for this one. We've got Puzzle Boy on the non super graphics compatible Hue card. Apparently, this is a game. This is ported from the Game Boy, and it got a 6776. So not terrible. It's one of those. Is this one of those Sokoban game? They don't call it a Sokoban game, but just sort of a block pushing one, I guess. It seems, which isn't, I guess, strictly Sokoban per se, or is it? I'm not really sure. Yeah, despite only having 5 games, right? That's true. The Super Graphics, not known for its gigantic library. Q Kyokutaiga, I kind of never remember which one this was, what its localized name was. But this was the Mega Drive port. And it got a 5, 6, 7, 3. Ooh, a 3. Taco X. What is Twin Cobra? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I would have pulled it up eventually. Taco X claims the graphics are a bit weird on this version. And the items that are normally round are kind of warped. What else here? Yeah, just yeah, it says, well, it might be interesting compared to the to some people compared to the Famicom port. Yeah, he just doesn't, it's just a little bit too weird for him, I guess. Yes, he did. He just thinks it feels off. Is the general gist of kind of what's going on here. I guess he's maybe comparing it to the arcade version or some of the other ports. But we do have on the Super Famicom Jumbo. Is this Jumbo Ozaki? That's the golfer's name, right? I think I'm reading that right. Yes, he's a professional golfer. Jumbo Ozaki no hole-in-one. Jumbo Ozaki's hole-in-one. Now, was this Hal's hole-in-one golf? I have to know, and I'll tell you why I have to know in a minute. Let's see. Let's see if this was it or not. Yes, it was. It was! Oh my goodness, I didn't know this was a Jumbo Ozaki game. I had this game. This is one of the only golf games that I had for my Super Nintendo. I believe I got it secondhand from a Blockbuster. For those of you who lived in the U.S. and are old enough to remember Blockbusters and the fact that they would sometimes sell their secondhand games for really pretty decent prices often. Probably the ones that weren't renting anymore. It's such good music, right? It's so, and like I weirdly maybe loved is strong, but I like this game quite a bit. It had a nice vibe to it. It was fun enough for a golf game. And my brother and I played it. Oh, of course I remember Borders. Borders took even longer to go away than Blockbuster did. It still feels like yesterday to me that there were Borders, even though I know it was really quite some time ago. It feels like Blockbuster just died all of a sudden and all at once, and Borders was a much more slow trickle. Where I live in the Chicago area, we actually had is it a Borders or is it the other one? Let's see. I think we actually still have. Sorry, it's not a Borders. We still have a Barnes and Noble in the town that I live in. It is not a Borders, but there is still a Barnes and Noble alive here, if you can believe that. It's been a while since I've been to it, but there is still one. But yeah, this scored pretty good. Got an 8 from someone. 6786. I think this is about the right set of scores for Hal's hole-in-one golf, aka Jumbo Ozaki's hole-in-one. And believe it or not, we haven't even actually gotten to the main attraction here yet. We just got a lot of games that were reviewed in this issue. Holy crap. We've got Pop Breaker on the Game Gear. Does anyone know did Pop Breaker have a different name localized from our friends at Micro Cabin? I do not know really much of anything about Pop Breaker. Yep, we said Ikari no Yosai is indeed over here on the Game Boy. Another one I haven't played, actually. It looks like it's a scrolling action game from our friends at Jalico. This one, an action puzzle game is what they're calling it here, which got 6s across the board. Oh boy, Taco X is just spitting fire today. He gave this half the points that everybody else in the magazine did. Pop Breaker. We've also got what? Ambition of Caesar. Ambition of Caesar for the Micro Drive? Try the Mega Drive from Micronet, which got what? 667 and 6. Guessing this is a historical simulation. Yes, it is. Ambition of Caesar. We also have, what is this? Junction on the Game Gear, also from Micronet. This is a week from Micronet, apparently, which got 667 and 4. Yeah, Taco X, get your stuff out of your stuff. Which seems okay. This is this also appeared on the Mega Drive Junction, and is apparently based on the arcade game Kubrick, and is some type of puzzle game. Hikari no Yosai is Fortified Zone. And we've also got Grandmaster on the Famicom, which is, you guessed it, an RPG, which got a 6.5, 6, and 4. And Ikari no Yosai got 6, 6, 7, and 4. Again, Taco X just bringing it, saying that it's a little too much like Metal Gear, apparently. And let's see. Just trying to pick out what else he's saying about this here. And he does maybe zoom this in a tiny bit. He does make a good joke in here, though, I will say. He says this one, because the name is Yosai. I need to gshow.org that one because I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Fort Stronghold, yeah. So like the Fort of Anger or something like that. Ikari, as in like Ikari Warriors, being Ikari right here, you can see. And that also is ikaru. There's a verb, to get angry, right? And he says, Kochi ga ikari takunaru bai mo aru no de. And so he says, like, but there are parts of this that make me angry. So little bit of play on words there, I suppose, using those Taco X writing skills. Let's see. We've also got Dead Moon on the PC Engine, which looks to be another shmup. This one I do not know at all. I don't believe I've played Dead Moon, but it got 7775, so pretty decent for just some, seemingly rando PC Engine shooter. And we're getting into the Game Boy stuff here with F1 Spirit from Konami. Apparently this is a port from the MSX, one of those Konami MSX specials. We got a 5, a 6, an 8, and a 6 here. For F1 Spirit, another game which I haven't played, but boy, it got an 8 and I got a 6 from Taco X. He wasn't even the lowest scoring person on this game. Whew. And Reishingu Tamashi, so Racing Spirit from IREM. Ooh, we're about to look at actually a couple different IREM games in a minute. Again on the Game Boy. This one, it looks like it probably averaged out maybe a little bit lower, but not by much. Yet another racing game for the Game Boy. It must have just been in the water at this point. Dead Moon was localized by Natsume. Ah, okay. We've got Legend of Hero Tonma on a PC Engine HuCard, also from IRM. It looks like this one is a port of an arcade game, which sounds vaguely familiar as just being sort of a general action game. We got a 6, 6, 7, and 6 on this one, another one of those PC Engine arcade ports. Here we have R-Type for the Game Boy. So we were playing the Game Boy Color version, but ostensibly these are kind of the same deal, is my understanding. I could be wrong about that. I couldn't find like absolute confirmation of, yes, the Game Boy Color version was just a colorified version of IREM's original Game Boy ports. I do not 100% know that to be true. But I read some things that seemed to suggest that was the case, even though they came much later. So let's just take a peek at what's going on with R-Type here, since we kind of sort of just played it. We at least played through all of R-Type 1, right? If nothing else. It got a 5, 7, and 8 and a 5. Okay, I have to see what Morishita Mariko's 8 is all about. So she says that it ported over the original pretty faithfully. You skipped 2 levels, IRM. There were 2 levels missing. Can we call that fateful? I don't know. I don't know about that. I already disagree with Miss Morishita, I'm afraid. And the boss characters have a lot of impact for being on the Game Boy. I suppose that's true. I suppose it managed to preserve their sense of scale pretty decently. I'll give her that. The number of enemy bullets are naturally a little bit lower. And yeah, I would expect that. I would expect a Game Boy port to be scaled down. But somehow you're able to move around and dodge them. Wait, hold on. Somehow managing to dodge them on the small screen is quite, difficult, which is a little more difficult, but I would argue not just because it's on if I was actually playing on a Game Boy, yes, okay, I would agree with that. But I would argue the biggest problem with that game, with dodging in that game, was the hitboxes, the larger hitboxes. But anyway, let's see. And she says in closing that she doesn't feel that there are a lot of shooting games for the Game Boy platform that are this kind of deep. Which is probably fair, because what you had, I feel like you had some pretty light, just kind of light shooters on the Game Boy by 1991. Like, what was that one that Nintendo put out fairly close to launch, if not at launch? I can see the cover of it in my head now. Solar, what was it like? Was it called Solar something? Solar Striker? Yeah, Solar Striker, right? It was at least developed in part by Nintendo R&D 1 and published by Nintendo. That thing came out at least close to launch. And like that was very, very kind of stripped down compared to a game like R-Type. So I think she's probably on to something there. Still an 8. I don't know. Maybe I'd feel differently about it at the time. Well, we do have some 5s. And so we might as well see what our good friend Taco X has to say about this here, right? Why not? Okay. So he says that he's kind of amazed that this is all packed in so tightly into a Game Boy game to the extent that it is. Like, it's surprising that they did that they managed to do what they did, which I guess is fair. Let's see here. It's like, yep, the character is small, and the number of bullets are much fewer. But again, like for the hardware, you would expect a certain amount of change, and the content of the game is fairly in line with that. And he says it's a game that can't help but make him feel that this is well done. And yet he only gave it a 5. But a 5 is an average score. We must all remember, right? 5 just means average. Doesn't mean bad. So I guess what he's saying is like, it's not great, but I'm surprised it's as good as it is, which fair enough. Let's see what our other 5 was from Tofuya Famibo here before we move on to see if there are any other reviews, and maybe look at Legionnaire or something potentially. Let's see. It is a tiny, says tiny, a tiny port of the big hit arcade game. And tended, at first glance, this is pretty much R-Type. And there's had to have been a lot of compromises made for the platform. Let's see here. Which sort of result in many compromises and many sort of like dissatisfactory things. He says it's a little bit of a difficult thing. And the BGM, the background music, is very lacking, which I did not even think the BGM on that updated version was that great. So I can imagine what the original would have sounded like. It's like, and they can't help but stand in the shadow of the original. But again, he sort of talked a little bit worse about it, but then he ultimately gave it a 5, sort of almost the opposite of what Taco X did. All right, let's see if we've got any more games to look at here before we move on. Oh, Lord, we got more. Okay. We've got Super Chinese 3, which those titles always get me every time. Super Chinese 3, they were still going with that on the Famicom by 1991. That got a 6, 6, 7, and a 5, which is maybe better than that game deserved at that point. I don't know. Kyukyoku Harikiri Stadium 3. So like extreme like Extreme Stadium 3, basically, which is a baseball game from Taito, which got a 5 and 8, a 7 and a 5 on the Famicom. It did have a password system, so I don't really know what was so special about it, but it got surprisingly good scores for a Famicom baseball game in 1991. We've got Final Match Tennis on the PC Engine from Human Entertainment, which got, wow, all 8s. It is a 4-player tennis game if you had the PC Engine multi-tap, apparently. So pretty good scores for a tennis game. Yeah, Joe Montana football. Yeah, football, which, yeah, definitely a typo there. And I did not realize that they still called that Joe Montana football. So they brought it over there with Joe Montana's name still on it, which is kind of amazing. But it was from Sega, so maybe that had something to do with it. That got a 7.877. Like, maybe American football games were a little bit, they were certainly a little bit less plentiful in Japan, right? So maybe the novelty of American football game kind of earned them some points. We've got Dick Tracy for the Mega Drive here, which also really got pretty decent scores, 8, 7, 8, and 5. I don't think I've ever played I don't think I've ever played a Dick Tracy game on any platform, to be honest with you. But here we are. Wow, okay, we're finally coming to the end. RoboCop, the Game Boy version of RoboCop, from Epic Sony, which does, I don't know, is that attempting to port the arcade game, or is it just kind of its own? Looks like it's probably its own thing that doesn't really attempt to, yeah, because it doesn't have anything to do with Data East. So it's probably its own beast. 5, 6, 7, and 4. We've also got Doraemon, Taiketsu Himitsu Dogu for the Game Boy, which got, from Epoch, which got a 6, 7, 7, and a 4. You know, it's a Doraemon game on the Game Boy, so like what can you really expect of that? Ocean published that RoboCop game outside of Japan, which is not surprising, and it has a Jonathan Dunn soundtrack. Okay, so this was a Western game that got published in Japan then. We've got really everyone's favorite Master System and Game Gear game, Woody Pop. Okay, you done chuckling now? You done laughing at Woody Pop? Okay, great. 6673. I guess the first, I even like Taco X is saying like, this really brings back memories, and you know, probably giving it a 3 because like, why are we only just Ted Bob Pops for Woody Pop? You heard it here first. How would you describe Woody Pop if you had to describe Woody Pop to someone? Does anyone want to take a stab at that? My memories of, I guess it's kind of a little bit of a block breaking thing, right? Yeah, it was originally a Mark III game, originally on the Master System, and you know, now it's 1991, so that's why Taco X is talking about how you know, nostalgic it is. But yeah, they're calling it Buroku Kuzushi here. It's like a block breaking game, like an Arkanoid, or like a Breakout, or things like this. It has a little bit of a different spin on it, but yeah, I suppose a block breaking game is how you would qualify it. And we even got little like a little 1-score reviews for some things on the side, like Abarenbo Tengu, aka Zombie Nation, got an 8. That's a shooting game I have some fondness for. Anyway, that is Famitsu check for our R-Type game, which got pretty all right scores, if we're being honest about it. So I can do one more. And since I feel kind of bad that for whatever reason I didn't think of streaming the Scrolling Down the Belt games, I think I'm gonna pick the shorter of the two. And I think we might do some Legionnaire here. Just pulling up my notes for Legionnaire. Not that I think I'm gonna 1cc Legionnaire or anything like that, but let's throw Legionnaire in here. Give me a moment to get that ready. I think in the new version of MAME, interestingly enough, there are problems with Legionnaire and many other games' sound. So I'm going back to the second to the last version of MAME here quickly, and hoping that it puts it on the correct monitor. I don't know if anybody else has this problem with MAME, but I am a multi-monitor setup. I have, well, technically 4. And it always seems to find a different one as the primary display every single time. So I have to go in here and finagle with the display number in the ini file in MAME, which is not anyone's real idea of fun, I would not say. Let's see here. Let's get Legionnaire going, and then I'll switch it over. Okay, we're on 4x3, and we want MAME. And this is, of course, from, we all love them, the TAD Corporation. The short-lived TAD Corporation. This is very fast text scroll, but the name of our kidnapping gang, because we gotta have a kidnapping gang, is the Crimson Kings. So we're already doing pretty well on our naming, and the Legionnaire is our force of fighting nobility, which I maintain in the video is a pretty cool idea, even if it's very underexplored in the story. We got 4 members, but Judy was kidnapped, so you can't play as Judy. You can only play as Alfred, who is our only noble of the bunch, really. And Frank. And, Chris. What fools you are! That went too fast. There's Alfred, there's Chris, there's, Frank. And what we have is Legionnaire. This is, for anyone who hasn't watched the video, how do these sound effects hold up as far as volume? Maybe this needs to go down just a tiny bit, maybe down to here. All right. Alfred sucks shit. He's the worst character in this game. He has huge gaps in his combo strings. So we're going to start with Chris. Even though Chris is not the character that most people end up 1CCing this with. Very fast. Look at that. Look at those hits. But the surprise in this game is your dash is you don't double tap forward. This is what happens when you double tap forward. You double tap jump. Insanity. And you get a throw off of it automatically by double tapping jump. And also, oh, that was not what I meant to do, but if you double tap jump and hit an attack first, you got kind of almost like a Streets of Rage 2-esque thing going there that you can kind of use to like lock some guys down, right? Other than that, I mean, you've got a couple different kinds of jumping attacks depending on whether you're neutral or forward. And like regular combos definitely work. But again, you gotta mine the gaps in those combo strings. And also remember to hit the double tap the jump button. Because it's easy to forget since... Why would you be used to dashing with the jump button? You wouldn't. And so you kind of use that for crowd control. Oh. And see, notice how he just kind of powered his way through that, you know? So like there's some problems here with, I feel like, priority of enemy attacks, if you will. Breaking some big old containers. Oh, hello. See how there's like little gaps? Little gaps in the strings sometimes that he's able to take advantage of, right? Oh, hello. We would like you all to be on one side, please and thank you. And that move generally has pretty good priority. Alright. See if I can hit that. Ah, I couldn't hit him. Oh, you know what? I should change... Hold on. I should change my marquee and stuff, huh? This is not... It's not the same game I was just playing. Give me one moment. Keep things up to date and all that. Let's see. We want... We're playing Legionnaire. What was this? This was... we're just going to say... I don't think it was developed and published by Tad, But you know what? 1992. Form Arcade. Let me change the title of the Twitch stream just so nobody thinks I'm still playing R-Type. So let's see. The YouTube one I'll probably leave and just mess around with later, because YouTube has that troublesome thumbnail that you have to worry about with. Yeah, Chris makes some weird battle noises for sure. Let's see here. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. Moving on. Not moving on, but moving back to the game now that I've updated all that. Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of things that happened in MAME, and I think, yeah, some things happened with the sound as a result. Maybe it's on my end? I don't know. Maybe there's some settings I need to look at or something, but it's not like the games don't have sound at all. That's not the case. It's just like some parts the sound will just cut out. Yeah, and these guys you can abuse to get items. Like in X-Men, when I was recording for the X-Men scrolling down the belt before. Sound was just kind of cutting out on me. And these guys, you're just kind of doing classic beat 'em up tactics here. The buffer, okay. Is that a setting a MAME setting, or are you talking about something a little more general? No. Can't let you, oh Lord, okay. This is not good. MAME setting? Okay, I'll take a look at that. Whew! Raw! And I can't remember if health gets fully refilled between levels. I don't think it does. Blood City! And his name is Pretty Piggy. Oh, it does get fully refilled. Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's check out the poster there. It's a good poster. See, they're just kind of able to pipe for points. That seems perfectly reasonable. What do we got? Oh, it says Tad Corp up there. Okay, we need some crowd control. Oh, he prioritied me right out of that. No, that's not good. But, hello, sir. I know you have a claw, but maybe take it easy for a second, please. Yep, see? He can just kind of... take it to the cleaners with their, with interrupting your combo strings there, so that's already one life. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I admit I'm not so familiar with the technology end of what they could do in terms of their audio, but I definitely try and keep up on the latest MAME updates, and I know they've really overhauled the way all of it works, really, almost. No. Oh, that's the guy that blows up. God damn it. I thought that was the guy who I had to hit repeatedly for fun and prizes. No, Mega Crash. Actually, I almost forgot that we even had Mega Crash as a thing. No, okay, see. Probably I'll switch to Frank when next I get the chance. Oh boy. Yep, this is not gonna turn out well. It's very easy to get surrounded in this game. With the way they position these enemies, and like canceling that, the dash into the hit there, if you have not much runway to go to, can be a little tricky. A little trickier than it seems, I would say. Okay. No, that's a bad idea. You goofballs. Those guys, little dudes who jump around, are such a pain in the butt. No. Definitely don't want to get surrounded. That is like the worst thing you can do here. Yeah, the claw guys are... They hop around, and if you don't kind of pay attention to what they're doing... Yeah, I did my, I mean, you can't tell through the magic of editing, but like my playthrough when I did this for footage capture was not good. And it's not good here either. Audio latency 0 at something with wired headphones. 1 would be for high quality wireless and 2 is Bluetooth. Okay, I definitely don't do any kind of wireless anything. So I'll look and see what my setting is. Everything I have is wired. Whether it be my speakers or headphones. Ah, yes. The cousins of the Streets of Rage, jogging men with knives. No, you... That is the worst time you could have come in for that. Alright, so now you get this interesting game over screen here. Alright, come on, Frank. He has no gaps in his combo strings, at least not really. And so that's why most of the time you see anyone 1 credit clearing this game, they will probably be trying to do it with Frank. But the drawback for him is that he doesn't have quite as nice of a range on his, this attack as Chris does. And apparently he gets interrupted from it constantly. Because boy, oh boy, that did not really work out for me, did it? Explode. Coffee, what is that, a Nikuman or something? Yeah, this is kind of what you want to do to these guys to get them to drop all their wonderful goodies. And a dude apparently just falling right from the sky, and you just gotta kind of know where he is. Come here, you. Get back over there. Try and lock them down as best we can here. Ah, those guys, when they wind up with that swing, it's kind of no stopping them. Yeah, a whole loaf of white bread. It's all you need to restore health, right? Yeah, he does his little wake-up attack there. He does his little stick swing. Oh. No, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, yep, that's fine. You just jump right there. No! Okay. I was really hoping to get this guy without losing a life. That's more how I wanted that to go. He did give the middle finger. Alright, what is this? Stage 3. Okay. Oh, yes. Dragon and Tiger. Yeah, these guys are quite the challenging boss, as I recall. Oh! Alright, you used my own tricks against me, I see. How about you take those? I want you to have those. Alright, I actually dispatched of those guys pretty nicely there. Nice. Yeah, see, this is kind of the loop you ideally want to have them in for, except when you accidentally hold up and you jump instead. Oh no. Give me those sunglasses. Give me that cheese. Give me that baseball. Oh. Just one tap. Just gives me the little tap. It is a very nicely animated kick. You're not wrong. So when you kind of get the way those guys' bounces work, they're not too bad, but if they come to you on a screen full of enemies, it's like huge pain. No, I don't want to do that because he's going to hammer me. I shouldn't throw when I'm that close. Well, we'll show everyone Alfred, even though he's not good. His strings are just too slow. He gets more hits in his combo than Frank. He gets less than Chris. There's that white bread again. Like, he seems like he would be pretty good. Like, he's got kind of a neat special there. But he just gets interrupted from basically everything that he does. Which makes for a rather unpleasant experience. I got some kind of a glowing baseball out of that. Oh, and a Pocari sweat. Oh, his moon... See that guy walking backward? See that guy's walk backward? Ah, yes. I believe the joke I made in the video was this guy comes from the Abigail School of Thuggery, because he does like a right before he dashes. It's not quite an Abigail yell, but I feel like it's the same... It's the same idea, right? He studies under Abigail Sensei. Abigail, of course, being the boss from Final Fight, for those who don't, weren't picking. That's just kind of hilarious. Do they make a fart sound? No, okay, you do too. All right. Good for you, buddy. I don't think you're dead. Everybody's Mega Crash is the same, by the way. Yeah, right. It's the classic beat 'em up trap, really. Luckily, in this one, moving off axis is as powerful as it has been in any beat-em-up ever, basically. So, like, you really do get to trap a lot of guys. And then you just gotta kind of look at the shadows there, and these guys... Keeping them on one side is nice, but really it's a... You almost can't do it for long. Because they love to bounce around. And they love to do that. And lock you down. Yeah, they at least do have interesting colors, right? Did the other guy die? Nope. Ah, I saw it coming. I didn't get out of the way in time. Oh, man, I could have had that one without losing a life. Oh, well. Yeah, there are very, like, bold color choices. Does an inhuman force control the evil Crimson Kings? Don't give up now. There's too much to lose. General the Hell Arm. I love the idea of their general being called Hell Arm, for starters. That's pretty good. Ah! A little more health than I would have liked to have lose there. Book. Pocari Sweat. Classic combination, really. Who amongst us has not enjoyed a book while also enjoying a Pocari Sweat? I ask. We don't like that. Yeah, exactly. Chibi UFO, you've got the order right. They're meant to be consumed together in exactly the way you just said. Come on! You're creeping on... Ah, I know. You're still alive? Good God. No, not at all. Pocari Sweat is a sports drink. It has kind of a distinct flavor to it. It doesn't particularly taste like Gatorade or anything like that. But Ramune is much more, it's carbonated. It's more of a soda. Whereas Pocari Sweat is certainly not that. We're not gonna mess around with those guys. Yeah, it's depending on how you feel about sports drinks, obviously, I would say you should try it. But it does, at least to my estimation, it does. I would rather drink it than a Gatorade if I really am in need of some hydration. Kieran, I believe, also makes one called Aquarius that is like a Pocari Sweat ripoff that I think is a little bit less strong of a taste, which I like. Much better than Pocari Sweat, though. So really, your mileage may vary, as with anything. Yeah, grapefruitish is, it's not like a real strong grapefruit. It's not like you're drinking grapefruit juice or something. Calpis is also kind of its own thing, right? It's like a milky kind of, not carbonated drink. I don't really know how to describe what Calpis actually tastes like. Oh, that's right, you have wake-up hits. And then you beat me with the stick afterward. All right, come on. Yeah, a little bit. It's not quite as thick as a yogurty drink, I would say. Yeah, it's much more watered down than like what you would normally think of as a yogurt drink. Yeah, when you get multiple of these guys on screen at the same time, it's quite amusing. All right, we're going back to Frank. How come I did not, sir? How come I did not grab you from off screen? Yeah, and people make mixed drinks with Calpis sometimes. You can run into one of those every once in a while. Also called Calpico, yes, because Calpis, maybe cow piss, not maybe like the best marketing name for a Western audience, I suppose, was their thinking. So you'll hear it called both things. Yeah, I think really baiting out that guy's jump is kind of what you want to do, so he doesn't leap all around on you. Oh man, I didn't get to abuse hitting him for stuff. Yeah, and as you can see, his charge pretty much beats you out clean of almost anything. Yeah, I think the carbonated Kelpis is a little bit less common, I feel like. Oh, that's right, you don't like the throws, do you? Oh, there's both of you. Oh, Lord. And you! I can't believe I have to deal with all you people. I feel like just using Abigail as throw bait here is probably a pretty decent idea. See, when you're not flooded with a screen full of guys here. All right, Yep, somebody's got Honda's, 100-hand slap here. Kind of thing going on. And he's got grenades. And he blocks. And he's got more grenades. So I can crash our way through that. And he wasn't even the boss. Yeah, this guy's got like some dulcim, okay, that did not go so well. Let's see here. He's getting off screen, and I don't like that. No, no, you're too far away. Come over here. No, broke off a... Whoa! Look at that. No, we're not going to mess around with any of that. Or we are. I don't know if I'm getting lucky there, or... No, I think I'm just acting a little more quickly. No, okay, normally he doesn't respond to that. Yeah, I feel like he might be. I feel like he might be another Stroheim reference. There's a good bet that's the case. Mr. G. He looks a little bit like Rugal. I think he's got kind of a little bit of a Rugal thing going on. Just slightly. This was before Rugal. From the King of Fighters series. So I definitely don't think he doesn't look enough like him to be like, oh, they copied Rugal from Mr. G, because A, nobody played this game, and B, it doesn't look that much like Rugal. This kind of reminded me a little bit. Had a little bit of that kind of thing going on. Yeah, maybe like a hybrid. What if I crossed Rugal and Krauser? I don't know if anybody's, it just came out today, so it's pretty fresh. I don't know if anybody has watched the, I believe it's on Crunchyroll, the Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games anime adaptation, which I actually just watched the first episode before the stream. It seems like it's got some promise. I rammed out this game's memory format. And what did you find, pray tell? It's just today it came out. $96 kilobyte, main 68,000 work, RAM, okay, sprite. It is on Crunchyroll, yes. So far as I know, it's exclusive to Crunchyroll. There's my white bread. Give me and some cheese. Woo! We're eating good tonight. So what does that, Steven, what does that tell you anything about the game's workings? Like, does that suggest anything to you? Okay, so yeah, you were able to derive from that then, for example, what you just said, it's actually not that much more than a Sega Genesis. That's really interesting, actually. Just to kind of know, like, what specs they were working with. We're not gonna even bother with that, no. No. Ah, God, I let one of them get me. And then the bridge explodes. Yeah, I mean, this looks like it could have been a game on a Sega Genesis, I feel like, right? Don't you think? Can I throw these guys? Not so much. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. Yeah, more colors, that's true. Oh, no, he's got the movement now, he's backdashing. To one side, please, and thank you. Alright, who did we have? That's right. We don't have... Oh, Lord. Okay, you guys are just... I feel like they have a much more casual walk with their knives even than the guys in Streets of Rage did. They're just like, just going... Just another stroll, another day, another stroll with, Really? Okay, you did it just then. How could I ever have beaten that? The answer is I couldn't have. Alright, we're getting there, though. This is, I believe, the last level. Move my stick a little too close to my desk here. Back up. Tilt this back a little bit. Oh good, it caught him. I still feel like a mega crash is warranted though. And another one. And he mega crashed me in his own way. Stronger than the Genesis and arcade hardware. Especially for sprites and samples. Yeah, I can see that. That feels about right. Based on your description there. That feels about where it sits, just judging it even, you know, purely from a game perspective and not even taking the hardware into account. Over here, please, Abigail. No, I could have hit him more times. Boo. Okay, I think we're not too terribly far away from Mr. G. Ah. All of the Abigails, all at once. There's like 4 of them on screen, for God's sake. Yeah, it is the last level, I guess. What do you expect? How many of these guys are there? Come on, do your jump. Get those cheap kicks in there when he makes you jump from the grenades every single time. Oh God, burning fight. That is true. It could always be worse, I suppose. This game is very Burning Fight-like, I feel. There are many similarities to Burning Fight here. Okay, I believe this first iteration I don't think is too bad. He just kind of has the standard, like, wake-up attack sort of deal that all these guys do. But his second form... Oh, spoilers, I guess. The second form is a little more interesting. There we go. I think this... Oh, no. Ah! It does! It does look like it would hurt. That's a good question. Will they get releases on the AES Plus? They both have not been announced yet, but Mutation Nation will actually be one of our games on the next, which I haven't started working on yet, but the next episode of Scrolling Down the Belt, along with, why am I blanking on the name of it? The Super Famicom dealie. I'm just completely blanking on it. There are too many of you. I knew it. I am just completely blanking. The one that the the series that had like Tough Turf and like all those. I am just, it's not coming to me. Rushing Beat, thank you. It'll be that and Mutation Nation, which should be a fun, another fun combination that really have nothing to do with each other, but they just happen to come out. Oh, Soft Serve. Come out around the same time. Give me that cheese. Give me that soft serve. Yeah, I actually don't remember too much about the Mutation Nation soundtrack, if I'm being honest. It'll be interesting to see. And the CD version didn't have an arranged then. That's rather unusual for a Neo CD title, right? Normally they did give them the arranged treatment, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, the timing on Rushing Beat X is interesting. I streamed Rushing Beat X. It was actually one of the first games I streamed when I first started. I did not like it. But mostly it's because it was too long. Like, way too long. So long. Like, when I say so long, I mean like over 10 hours. And that's not, a beat 'em up should not be that. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't. Didn't they add like a versus mode to the new Rushing Beat game or something like that? Like insanely? Like a local versus mode? Which I know I always complain about those and how no one wants them, but apparently someone wants them, or someone thinks someone wants them. Oh lord, okay. This group of guys, this is quite the group of guys right here. They are extremely hard to deal with. Way more mega crashes than I wish I had had to use there. Alright, here he is. Oh. He's got armor now, you see. I think you always kind of want to be like above or below him if you can help it, because his projectile, he kind of shoots out projectiles a little bit. Oh, and he's got a beam. He's got sexy beam. Oh, and apparently that one follows you. No, okay. He got me before I could move. I actually need to go and play that 3D Double Dragon game. Jesus, I am... He just bumped right into me there and knocked me down, like he wasn't even... Not even really messing around at that point. Oh, okay. Sir, these enemies are absolutely terrible about walking off screen and... Okay. What, what is even happening? That's a great question. Well, jump kicks work on him too. But it's like, I feel like sometimes he comes out with the claw hit and sometimes he doesn't. Maybe I just gotta wait a little bit longer. I'm gonna burn one more continue on this guy, I feel like. Okay. Ah, I didn't get back in time. Yeah, fake-ass Wolverine claws. Alright, I don't want you off screen. Oh, you died off screen, apparently. Yeah, I heard some people about that new 3D Double Dragon say that, like, it had some problems, but in the end, like, the battle mechanics were pretty good. I'll have to judge that for myself one of these days. He settles on the city once again. The power of corruption has been silenced by the courage of the three who dared to save a friend. Where are our heroes today? Now we get to figure out what happens to everybody. This is fun. I love Frank's. Frank's is so honest. Frank lives out a boyhood dream as the owner of a hot dog stand in a nearby amusement park. You gotta respect it, right? Guy just loves cooking hot dogs. Chris is using her strength to pick up championship wrestling titles the world over. The guy with an inordinate amount of blood gushing from his face over there in the corner. And Alfred is going to have 500 children. Alfred and Judy are happily married and living in the suburbs with their growing family. They're extremely fast-growing family. You got like 5 kids and you got another one on the way, buddy. It's a lot. It's a lot. It is actually, I feel like, probably one of the better beat-em-up endings. Don't you think? Like, you get actual closure. Boom, 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 boom. Bing, 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 bing. Ah, Tad Corporation, you are not long for this world. But you sure did give us some interesting things. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Cabal. They were the people who brought you Cabal. If you have any affinity for that one at all. Some other things. What? Blood Brothers. Toki. They brought you Toki. I don't know if I don't know if they're to be lauded for any of these things, but they sure did bring them to you. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm about to wrap for the night here. So Thursday, look forward to Thursday, everyone, because we're back on our anime license nonsense, and we are starting something brand new now that we finished Urusei Yatsura. We're all about to become tough boys next Thursday because it's time for Fist of the North Star. It's time to play not every. We're going to skip the Pachi slot games. Maybe we'll play like one Pachi slot game when we get there on PS2, but we're not going to play all of them. So mostly every Fist of the North Star video game. Every one that we can play. That's right. You are shock! It's going to be time. You're going to hear that song probably a bunch of times. And every time I'm going to hope that they don't demonetize the video on YouTube. But yeah, we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to start with, I believe it's like a PC 8801 game or something like that. It's the only one of those. So we're going to have like an adventure game in there, I think. But from there, it's the Wild West. We get into all kinds of crazy shit. So look forward to that. And I'm thinking maybe next Tuesday we'll do the Great Battle, since we didn't get to do the Great Battle 2. Well, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I want to do those Konpachi Heroes games as a part of the Thursday streams at some point. So maybe we'll save the Great Battle 2. We'll do something else on Tuesday that I haven't figured out. But yes, Ayo Torimoto say, we're going to take back our love, take back the love, take back any kind of love you can think of, really, on Thursday. So please return for that, if you would be so kind. And until Thursday, omae wa mou shindeiru. Arto!